Do you wonder why you have piles of clothes, untidy workspace, or untouched paperwork? That is one of the silent consequences of surviving narcissistic abuse. It is not your fault. Research shows that people with a lot of clutter around their homes have a higher than average rate of depression, anxiety, and ADHD-like symptoms. So for many who have endured the psychological turmoil inflicted by a narcissistic parent, the aftermath of such an upbringing can manifest in unexpected ways. In this video, we will explore how clutter can emerge as a coping mechanism and a response to a deep scars left by narcissistic abuse. Hi, my name is Mfon. Welcome to my channel, and today we will be looking into clutter as a response after narcissistic abuse by a parent. Trauma affects people neurologically, which means your brain, your physiology, your feelings, and your behavior patterns. It can make you feel compulsive, and it can fill your thinking with stressful thoughts. It can also make you feel immobilized and unproductive. Childhood trauma physically damages the brain by triggering toxic stress. Strong, frequent, and prolonged toxic stress rewires several parts of your brain, altering the activity and influence over emotions and the body. Clutter is a huge problem for a lot of people who have childhood trauma. It's not just the physical space and belonging that could be seen as clutter. People with complex PTSD also experience different kinds of clutter like mental clutter, emotional clutter, relationship clutter, and time clutter. So clutter in many ways is a physical manifestation of the internal chaos. Here is how clutter can be related to trauma. Number 1, emotional overwhelm. Survivors of narcissistic abuse often experience intense and overwhelming emotions such as anxiety, depression, shame, and guilt. Clutter can provide a physical representation of these emotions, and the act of accumulating possessions can serve as a way to manage or avoid these overwhelming feelings temporarily. Number 2, control and security. Narcissistic abuse can leave survivors feeling a loss of control and a lack of safety. Hoarding and cluttering can be a way to regain a sense of control over one's environment. For some, the accumulation of items may be a misguided attempt to create a protection barrier around themselves. Number 3, distraction and avoidance. Clutter can serve as a distraction from the pain and memories of the abuse. It can be a way to avoid dealing with the trauma by focusing on collecting and organizing possessions instead. Number 4, self-worth and validation. Narcissistic abuse often leaves survivors with low self-esteem and self-worth. Clutter can provide a distorted sense of self-worth, as some individuals may attach their value to the possessions they accumulate. The more they acquire, the more they feel validated, at least temporarily. Number 5, difficulty letting go. Letting go of possessions can be challenging for survivors of narcissistic abuse because it can trigger feelings of loss and abandonment. The clutter can act as a protective shield, preventing them from facing the painful reality of letting go and moving on. As a survivor of narcissistic abuse, you've been in a position where a parent exerted too much control over your life and cluttered your emotions. You were left confused and you second-guess yourself all the time due to the constant manipulation and gaslighting by this person. You were always trying to exist. You never enjoyed living because you felt lost and have given up on important choices of your life in general. So once out of the abusive environment, the struggle to regain control begins, and that struggle often reflects in your surroundings as clutter. Acquiring and holding onto physical items that 99% of the time is not serving you anymore, but can provide a comforting distraction. So what can be done about it? First, recognize clutter as a natural response to the abuse you've experienced, and it is not that you are disorganized or lazy. It's about understanding that your brain is responding to a traumatic experience in the best way it knows, and taking small steps by actually decluttering your living space is healing in itself. And when you stop being cluttered, openness comes. You actually feel the spaciousness of life and your surroundings. So recovering from narcissistic abuse and managing clutter as a trauma response often involves therapy, support from loved ones, and a commitment to self-care and healing. It is a journey that can take time and patience, but with the right resources and support, it is possible to heal and regain control over one's life, over your life. So show yourself some grace. Healing is possible. I believe in taking small steps, so start small and start decluttering your space. I don't know about you, but for me, I experienced something like that where I tend to be a little bit disorganized, and I've come to realize that it's not me, it's about my childhood trauma and experience from narcissistic, parenting growing up. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. So in our next video, we're going to look at healing from clutter as a trauma response after narcissistic abuse from a parent. So I hope you join me in the part 2 of this video, because we have to heal from the past so that our future will be happy and we live freely and we live happily and not cluttered as a response from the traumatic experience that we got as kids. So we are going to look at that. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye bye.